All right, this is my trading session for August 12th, 2025. You could see that I did run into a little bit of trouble earlier on in the session, but we recovered for a nice profit of 12 ticks. I did, however, have a total of 21 trades with a win rate of only 50%, 52% to be exact. And then my average winning trade was 3 ticks, whereas my average losing trade was 2.2 ticks. So I think we're going to come to see that I did a good job of managing my losses, keeping my risk relatively tight. However, I think we'll also come to find that overall I was over trading and that I may have been pushing trades during this session. So let's jump into it. Trade number one. This is a 3 tick loss to the short side. Right away, first observation I want to make is that this looks like a great session. Um, I've got these yellow lines drawn out to keep track of spoofing and particularly spoof reclaims because I know that Price likes to reclaim through these areas. Um, my first observation on this particular trade is that I was short trying to trade into the spoof reclaim below us. However, there's also spoof above me, so I think I was caught a little offsides there. So I'm going to tag this. I had spoof favor and spoof against. There was kind of nothing you could do about that. The day at this point looks like a range day, which I have range favor on. Being on the short side, we're near the top of the range. I do have reclaim below as a favor, not much above. Um, the book was kind of imbalanced at the point of entry. Let's see, let's watch it again. Yeah, book is imbalanced, which is working against me. Delta overall looks like it's supporting the up move. At least at this point it does. Could be absorbing a little bit. Second thought. I'll keep it neutral. I don't think there is delta going on here too much. My entry was early. My exit was pretty good. 3 tick losses. Pretty fair. Conservative scalp. I did have slip favor. I was in between on my market read here, and I was calm, content, and patient at the beginning of the session. I'm going to give this a yellow star. Let's move on to the next one. Trade number 2. 1 tick profit to the short side. Similar setup. It looks like we are in a slip range pretty clearly. We've got some pretty clear spoofing below us. The book is balanced. I'm going to say this is a pretty good trade. I don't think I could have held it for longer. I think the edge was pretty fleeting this day. So I'm going to copy over most of my tags. The only difference being the book was balanced this time. There was no spoofing against me. My entry was good. My exit was good. And that's pretty much it. I'll green star this trade. Move on to trade number 3. I'm gonna try to burn through these pretty quick. Exact same setup as the last one. 4 tick profit to the short side. I'm kind of fighting the trend here because now it does appear that we're uptrending, especially on the delta. But that spoof is clear as day, man. So let me paste these tags in here. Delta delta against, and trend against. Get rid of the range favor trade. Entry good, exit good. Nice fucking 1-pointer. And yeah, I am technically against the actually, maybe I'll change this tag. No, I'll keep that. I'll keep that. We had reclaim below. We had spoof below, not above. This looks pretty good. Conservative, scalp, slip favor, clear. I was very clear on this trade. Calm, content, patient, green star. Trade number 4. This is a 3-tick profit to the short side. Again, pretty similar setup. We're slip ranging here, but we're also like slip trending, if that makes sense. We're making higher highs, but we're retracing those highs pretty aggressively, I might add. It looks like I could have held this one a little longer, maybe 1 or 2 ticks. So I will paste all of my tags from the previous trade with the exception of exit early. Slip favor. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Calm, content, patient. Trading at this point, I'm pretty confident I'm trading against the trend, which isn't a horrible thing to do, but it's something I need to keep in mind when it comes to risk. And I will green star this trade. Trade number 5, 3-tick loss to the short side. So I think I'm going to start learning lessons here pretty quickly about fighting the trend. It looks like there was a really good setup to the long side that I wish I caught on to. But some of that could be hindsight. I think in hindsight, I know that this ended up being a really aggressive trend today to the upside. So if I subtract all hindsight from it, I should be looking at this objectively. And objectively, this isn't necessarily a horrible setup. But what I don't like is we put in a spoof zone, right? We came back and traded through it once, and now we're spoofing up on it again, and now I'm trying to trade through it a third time. I think that's a little too aggressive to be trading through a spoof zone 3 times, because chances are they just invalidated it, you know? So let's tag that as such. I did technically have reclaim favor. I did technically have spoof favor, but there are a few things working against me. One is trend. Trend is working against me. Delta. What is Delta doing? So it went up on very low volume. Yeah, so not a lot of buyers are entering, which if anything makes it good spoof. It's a good area to attack, but there is definitely some imbalance going on. The book is balanced. At least, or actually, no, it's not. There's a lot more balance down there. I think that's it. Let me watch it again, actually. Get in there. Yeah, I think for an exit, this was pretty good. Especially since there's reclaim against me, so Let me mark that. Reclaim against. Delta against. My exit was pretty good, but I think my entry was early. This was a pretty aggressive scalp. I did have slip favor. I think I was a little confused on this trade, but I am still calm, content, and patient. I'm going to yellow star this trade. Let's move to the next one. Trade number 6. 5-tick loss to the short side again. I think I'm getting slapped pretty good here fighting the trend. So let's watch this one. I honestly don't hate this setup. I feel like this could have worked. Why didn't it work? I guess I just have so much reclaim behind me. Yeah, it's almost like it consolidated above me. So I held too long is what I did. Exit late. My entry was pretty good on it. The book was imbalanced. So that's working against me. I had reclaim against me. Yeah, Delta was so weird today. Price is holding there. I technically had reclaim and spoofing below me, but that's about it. Trend against. I was trying to keep this conservative. It was flip favor. I'm going to go in between on this because I don't think there's a lot of context I'm missing. I'm going to say maybe calm, yes, content, and no patient. So I am content and I am patient. I'm just not maybe the calmest at this point, especially 2 consecutive losses. I'll yellow star that one. And then next trade, trade number 7, is a 4-tick loss to the short side. Now I have this tagged as a red star currently. I guess I'm gonna play it and see why. I think I'm just fighting a trend, man. I'm actually gonna play this with volume. Yeah, so I do think that was a red star trade. I am missing context. I've got reclaim against me. I do not think the book was balanced when I entered. Actually, no, it was just screaming against me. A trend against. I didn't even have spoofing. I don't think that was a spoof. It's technically a reclaim. But I'm clearly fighting the trend here. I think this was an aggressive scalp. It was also a try two, meaning this is my second attempt at the trade. Slip favor, confused, maybe calm, maybe content, and maybe patient. I think this trade did irritate me a little bit, and to cut myself a little slack, I did take a half-hour break after this. 3 consecutive losses. I stopped trading for a little bit, tried to reassess. and come back with a fresh mind. So this is the next trade number 8, which was a 5-tick profit. Again, about a half hour after the last trade, and it is to the short side. So let's watch this. All right, I remember this being a tough trade. It was really fighting me, and it got super volatile here for some reason. But that being said, I do think it was a great trade. Um, it looks like sellers were reloading in this area, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, buyers are trying to step in, but they just can't get the price up. Sellers are maintaining. So this is going to be a Delta favor. Did I have book balance here? No, I don't think book balance was quite a factor. I had reclaim, I had spoof. I did also have spoof on my backside though. I gotta be careful about that. This was short, so I was technically trend favor. And I think that's it. My entry was good. My exit was good. This was an aggressive scalp, but not in technically a horrible way. I think it was valid to take a trade here. Just with the volatility, it was like very quick. It's like quick volatility. Slip favor, clear. After taking a break, I was calm, maybe content. And I'm going to put yes, patience. I do think I was being patient by waiting that 30 minutes. I'm going to green star this one and move on to the next. This is trade number 9, 4-tick profit to the long side. So it looks like I am finally trading with the trend here. I think this is just a basic slip range play, because we are in a pretty nice slip range, and then it just spoofs right up. Boom, and then I take it off. Yeah, so very basic slip range trade. Trend favor. I didn't even really have reclaim or spoofing above me. Oh, just a solid range. All right, I guess I need to put range favor. So trend favor and range favor. Entry good, exit good, conservative scalp, slip favor, clear, calm, content, patient. I think I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to green star this one. Next trade number 10, 5-tick profit to the long side. So it looks like longs are paying off for me. I can already tell we're V flushing here, so I'm just going to copy the tags from my last trade with the addition of V flush. And I do have some spoof above me. I can't tell if the book's imbalanced, unfortunately, because I'm too zoomed in. I think this was also an exit early because I could have held it for the other end of the range. Yeah, so maybe exit early. exit early. Delta's working for me too. So exit early. There's not a whole lot working against me. I do see some spoof below me though, so let me mark that out. All right, I think that's it. Green star. Calm, content, patient with good clarity. Let's move on to the next one. Trade number 11, which is a 1-tick loss to the long side. Which I'm looking at the chart. This looks like a great trade. I'm curious as to why it didn't work. Maybe imbalance. Maybe I jumped out of it because of imbalance. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's just too much imbalance, so let me tag it as such. Copy the tags from the last one, but the book is imbalanced. I didn't really have spoofing there either, unfortunately. This was a long trade, so I still have V-flush advantage. Entry good, exit good. I'm glad I took a 1-tick loss. Conservative scalp. Clear, calm, content, patient, and I'll green star it. I think it was a good 1-tick loss. Next trade number 12, is a break even to the short side. Let's see what it looks like. I think this was also a good trade. I just knew I was fighting the trend by being short. And it did technically give me the trade I wanted, but it didn't fill me, unfortunately. And I had reclaim on my backside. So I think this was a good break even. Yeah. So I did have spoof favor, but I had reclaim against me. I had the trend against me. I also had spoof against me, right? No, I didn't. Okay. I think that's it. My entry was good and my exit was good. I'm glad I got out of that when I did. Although maybe late. I'll put exit late because it did give me 2 ticks. I should have taken it. Conservative scalp, slip favor. I'm going to put in between for my market read. And I was pretty calm, pretty content, and pretty patient here. I think I'm doing a really good job of managing my trades. Next one, trade 13. This is a 2-tick profit to the short side. Right away, I don't like that we V-flushed. I'm going to tag V-flush against. So V-flush against. I'm against the larger trend. There is spoof there. You can't argue that that's spoof. And the trade would have worked, so it's not horrible, I suppose. Spoof. Do have a lot of reclaim down there. Delta seems to be agreeing with the down move, so I'll put Delta favor. Exit. Exit good, because I don't think I had a whole lot of edge here. Was this aggressive? Yeah, I think this was a little aggressive. Slip favor. Market read is in between. Calm, content, and I'm going to put maybe patient. I think my patience is wavering just a little bit. This will be a yellow star trade. Next trade 14. Oh, I need to add my session. if that worked. It did. Okay. So trade 14. Let's watch it. Looks like we're setting up a range, and I've got pretty good range advantage on it. Could have held it for another tick or so, maybe. So I'll do trend favor, range favor. There was a tiny bit of spoofing there. Delta is supporting an up move, so I'll do that delta favor. Not a whole lot going against me here. Aside from maybe balance, the book is imbalanced. Entry good, exit good, conservative scalp, split favor, clear, calm, content, and I'm going to put patient because I did take up a long break after this, or before this. And that'll be a green star trade. Trade 15 is a 2-tick profit to the long side. So I'm glad I'm not fighting the trend here. Although I am range against. I missed it. Where did that go? Just a pretty minor pullback. I do have spoofing on my backside though. So book and balance and spoofing against me. I am working with the trend, and I do also have spoof in my favor. I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Entry good, exit good, conservative scalp, slip favor, clear, calm, content, patient, green star. Next trade number 16, 1-tick loss to the long side. I do have spoof against me, which I don't like. And it looks like that's what made me get out. So the trade would have worked, but I just didn't like having that against me. So I'm going to green star this one. I had spoof against me. I did not have spoof in my favor. I can get rid of that. Balance. Ooh, Doji's above us. Okay. Clear, calm, content, patient, green star. Next one's trade number 17, 2-tick profit to the long side. Let's watch it. The book is mostly balanced here, which I like. Takes forever to fill me. So book balanced. So actually, I'm just going to paste the last ones in. Tiniest bit of spoof favor. Trend favor, entry good, exit good, conservative scalp, slip favor, clear, calm, content, patient. I'll green star that one. Trade 18, break even long. Yeah, that was a good break even. It's starting to puke in against us. It's kind of got that V flush look to it on the top side, so I'm going to tag that as such. So V flush against. The book does still have a lot of imbalance below us, so I'll keep that. I am technically trend favor, but I don't have a whole lot else going on for me. Reclaim above. Well, and reclaim below, I suppose. I guess the stop run factor could be working against me. Entry early, exit good. This is a pretty aggressive scalp. I think I'm starting to push trades here. My patience is starting to thin, so I'm going to put maybe patient. But I am still clear. I do still have slip favor, calm, content. I'm going to yellow star this one. Next trade, trade 19, is a 4-tick loss to the long side. And it almost looks... I see what happened here. So this was a partial. So trade 19 is void, technically, because it's a partial of trade 18. So trade 18 and trade 19 are essentially the same trade. They just got split into 2 separate orders. Let's go to trade 20. 1-tick loss to the short side. Because I'm fighting a trend here. The book is balanced too, which I don't like. I think that's a nasty combination. Yeah. So I'm going to have to change these tags real quick. Actually, no. No, I'm going to keep that. So, trade 20. I am against the trend. I technically have a stop run set up in my favor. There's some reclaim against me. The book kind of has some balance in my favor. No, I'm going to leave that there. I think that's it. I'm going to keep this one as a red star. I don't think I should have been trading here. This was an aggressive scalp. I don't think there was any slip here, so slip none. I was confused. I was maybe calm. I was maybe content, and I was pretty impatient here. And then next one, last trade of the day, trade 21, is a 5-tick profit to the short side. So I think this is a try 2 of whatever I was trying before. So I will copy the tags over. Yeah, I don't know exactly what my setup was here. Let me listen to it. Okay, I kind of see what was going on. So I do have book balance. I do have reclaim against me, though. I do have the stop run setup working for me. think Delta's working for me because sellers are clearly present in this area. My entry was good. My exit was also good. This was still an aggressive scalp. I'm clear on it now. More clear on it now than I was with the last trade. I'm calm. I think at this point I'm pretty content with my P&L. And I'm maybe patient. I think my patience was thinning at this point in the session. And this will be a green star. So that's essentially my trading session right there. I think clearly there was some over trading going on, especially earlier in the session. I was really trying to push trades and taking big losses, which on the one hand, that is what I'm trying to do. My last two sessions, the biggest takeaway has been that I need to push my trades a little further. But that doesn't necessarily mean more risk. You know, like I should still be keeping my trades tight, which I did a decent job of. And while we're on the topic, I also did a pretty good job of pushing those trades when I had the edge. So let's go look at the stats for today. Yeah, the average, right? This is the 12th. Yeah. So the average trade was 3 ticks, which, I mean, I had a couple break evens, I guess. I suppose if you take those away, the story would be different. And then my average loss was only 2.2 ticks. So I did a pretty decent job at it. It was by no means perfect. I think one thing I need to work on is not over pushing or overfitting. I think this new source of edge that I've found, these spoof reclaims are really cool. They're easily repeatable and they're abundant. However, the edge is so small. It's only good for a couple ticks, and there are moments where they're good for more than that, where they're good for 5 or 6 ticks. Even I've even seen some that are good for like 2 points. But I can't be swinging the bat at every pitch. You know, some pitches are gonna fall low. You know, some pitches are gonna go high. I gotta really be patient and wait for that perfect pitch, and then swing hard on it. You know, I can't just be swinging at every fucking ball that comes my way. And I think that's what I did today. I think I was just swinging at anything I could find. I was so desperate, and the volatility was so low that any price movement looked like an opportunity to me. And I got to be super careful on days like that because it's easy to be wrong. It's very easy to be wrong. I'm pretty lucky that my biggest loss was only 5 ticks. You know, it could have been a really bloody day given the volatility. So this was an outlier day, I think. Trend days don't happen often. We did trend upwards for pretty much the entire session into all-time highs. And I think when that happens, you know, buying uses much less volatility than selling does. And when we're on a buy heavy trend day, I just gotta sit on my hands. That's it. You know, wait for that perfect setup, and if it doesn't come, then oh well, I don't have any trades on the day. But sitting here for as long as I did, just trading every single movement in price was just a little lack of discipline on my part. I think my natural skill in trade management shone through that and probably saved me today. I think if I wasn't as good at managing trades as I am, that today could have been really bad for me. Being able to capture those really good entries and take them off for 1 to 2 ticks, you know, is a skill that I'm trying to hone in on, and that skill I think carried me through the day today. So that's pretty much it. Those are all the observations I have from today. I don't see any really horrible mistakes here today. I did take 3 consecutive losses, but that's a good thing because I stopped after. I had a really bad session a couple days ago where I had like 7 consecutive losses, and I went on tilt, and I just couldn't pull myself out. But I'm really proud of the fact that on my 3rd consecutive loss, I stopped and I took a break, and then I came back and killed it. I had 3 big wins: a 5-tick win, a 4-tick win, and then another 5-tick win. So sometimes you just got to take a break. That's pretty much it for this session. Until the next one.